Morning, student. So, after yesterday's discussion, already we have started the topic stack data structure. So, within the data structure, so far we have done that how we can implement stack, and inside the stack implementation, which basically there are few functions are there. What are the functions? The first function is the stack is empty or not. Next is push operation function, means if you want to insert any element into the stack, and another is pop one. That means if you want to remove any element from the stack. So these are the operation we have so far seen inside the stack, or we have implemented. Now next we are going to do few more operation, or one operation is left within the stack, that is peak operation. This is a special one and not the typical one, just a simple one. Peak operation, what does it mean? Just like we know that whenever we are displaying any stack, it will display the whole content. That means any number of elements present in the stack, it will display all the content from the stack. But suppose if we want to display the top element, if we want to display the top element, that is only called peak. Peak will display the top element, whatever the top element present inside the stack, present in stack. Always it will display the top whenever we will call the function. We will call this peak function. So how we can implement this function? So inside the peak we are passing the stack, and then simply we are checking whether the function is whether the stack is empty or not. If it is empty function, or if it is empty stack, so nothing to display. So that's why we are simply using the print underflow option. In the next phase, if the element is present, if any element is present, so first of all we have to find the top position. So how we can find the top position? We know that length of stack minus 1, and then we'll return that position. So for example, we are picking the element from here, so let's run it once. Sorry, just syntax error is there, so we have to remove the syntax error. So here we can see. First of all, so okay, let me remove this part so that it will be easily understandable. I am just pushing element. I am not copying any element. So at last, I am just displaying the element. Once I will display after pushing all the element. So here I am just displaying, and after that, just I am picking up one element. So this is the structure of the stack. So first we will display with a message, that is structure or present content of the stack. So this is display stack, and here we are print the top element. So top element of the stack, so that we are writing. Now we are calling the peak function. So here we can see when we are pushing the element, so 1 2 3 4 we are pushing, so that it will push all the element, and then we are receiving. So here we have to receive the value. So suppose inside the S we are receiving the value, and then we have to display it. So print the top element will be S. top element will be S. Here we are just using AND function. So same way it will display. So here we can see. So 4, 3, 2, 1, that is the top element is 4. First 1 was inserted, then 2, then 3, then 4. 4 will become the top element. So that 4 is displaying through this tick function. So how it works, now we can understand. Okay. So next we'll go for one very important concept is that this data structure. That is, we can say data structure 1. First I started with the stack. So now we'll go for a few more operation, and before going to that, let me just clarify one some doubt regarding this reduced syllabus. Here you can see this is the reduced syllabus. So here inside the data structure, only, so you can see few terms topics are there. This data structure list as covered in class 11, that already we have discussed. So even in this chapter also at the beginning day we have discussed so far. Within stack, these are the operation push pop operation using list, and here queue operation. So far we have not done the queue, but here one point we have to see that one of the data structure is stack or queue. So we are going to refer for stack. We are not going to refer for queue. Later on we'll do that. While setting the question paper, student will have an option. That means either we have to solve one question from stack, or one if it is given from queue, so you have to solve from queue. So now I think all of you have seen that we have shared in the group the CBC sample paper. So that has also came. So let me show that one also. So this is the CBC sample paper. So here is the sample question paper. So in this sample question paper, question number 37 based on that stack and queue. So here is the question paper, you can see. So if we see this one, that write a function push, Python push array, when ARR is a list of number. That means using list we have to implement simply one stack, but not complete the stack, only just that push function. From this list, push all number divisible by 5 into the stack implemented by using a list. Display the stack if it has at least one element, otherwise display appropriate error message. So this is the complete task. It is of 3 marks. So this part we have either we can do, or it has one option, another option, second option. Another option is pop operation, that also we have done, that pop array. So that ARR is a stack implemented by list of number, and the function returns the value deleted from the stack. That means the pop operation value. That means the pop operation value, that also we have done. So now let's come to the marking scheme. If you see this one here in the marking scheme, you can see this is the first one, push operation. Just now we have done it. So here push, here comma value s. First of all, here empty list is taking, and then it is running a loop till the length of the ARR, and whatever value that are divisible by 5 we append into the list. S dot append ARR of x, that particular position value will be appended to the list. And if the value is not divisible by 5, in that case, or simply if nothing is there inside the list ultimately, so then stack is empty. That message we have to show, or else print s. That means after completion of the task, that means complete push operation, inside that only here deletion operation is there. Even also we can create a sorter function delete, and we can call from this push function, but better we can display using this also. So this is all the push operation, and this was about the second option, or alternate question was given, that is the pop operation. We have to remove any element, top element. We know that always it removes the top element, from the stack. So that only doing here. So now we can see that here first of all lane, it is finding lane of stack, and if the lane is 0 means no value is there. So that's why we have to display under probe, because already we have yesterday we have discussed that Underflow situation is that type of situation where there is no value, and the value is inserted when there is no value and we want to delete some value. So that situation is basically called underflow. That situation is basically called underflow. So now, so when we are going to that condition also we have to use here. We have to use n. If we see the length of the stack is 0, so it will be underflow. Otherwise, we'll simply find the length and we'll remove the value at the top. So print val, that value will deleting and stk dot pop l minus 1. The same way only we have done. Let's see that one also that we have done so far. So here is the pop operation that we have done. So in the pop also we are checking if the value is empty or if the stack is completely empty. In that case, it is displaying underflow. Otherwise, it is first of all popping up the value. That means it will pop one top element, and if the length of the stack is now 0, so it will set the top equals to none. Top will be length of the stack, and then popped item will be displayed. So in this way only it is showing the same function. It is just like the same. So these are the operations that we have gone through so far, and also as per the CBSE guideline. So this always you have to remember inside this part. Now few more parts are there that are in the especially data structure 1. So today one of that part we are going to discuss. So in today's class, so that part is basically called list comprehension. That part is basically called list comprehension. It is very useful thing, even very quite interesting as a programmer or as you are learning a programming language. So it is one of the useful tool also, you can say. Means here's something new concept you are going to learn. So far we have done list chapter. We know that how we can create a list. So that type of simple example, few example we'll do first, and then we'll go for list comprehension. So here is my first question. Suppose I'm just saving this one, uh, list comprehension. So this is the topic. So first of all, we'll create a list using the normal method. Then we'll convert, or then we'll do the same thing using list comprehension. So create a list using natural number from 1 to 10. This is my first question. So how we can do that? So first of all, we'll take an empty list, and then we'll simply run a loop for I in range within bracket. Since 1 to 10 is given, 1 to 11 we'll write, and below that just we'll write L dot app and append. Within that we'll pass the I. And outside this loop, simply we can display the final L. So this is our part. Like we run this one, so you can see simply it has created a list that contains. So it has created a list that contains the list that has the natural number from 1 to 10. Now, what is list comprehension actually? The list comprehension is nothing but we'll create a list, we'll create the same list, but here just one technique will be used, that will not use any type of this longer procedure. In this case, we'll use quite shorter one or shorter technique, and that will create the same list. So how or what is actually list comprehension as a definition if we go for? So list comprehension is actually the term, concise description, you can say, description that create a list in shorthand style. So that is, we can say, a list comprehension. So how it works? So that we have to know how it works, that we have to know. So for that purpose, we'll simply demonstrate the above example. The same question we'll do using list comprehension. So just we'll do list comprehension, create a list using list comprehension natural number, using natural number 1 to 10. So what we can write, simply we'll take empty list, and now we'll create here L equals to, here is the very important part. We can either use the box bracket, basically we have to use the box bracket. Within the box bracket, now we'll use, here we are using I, because I we are going to use, simply here we are appending the I, so that I type we are writing, I only we are writing I. Now we'll run the loop for I in range, and now what is the range? 1 comma 11 comma 1. So that means we are placing the loop, no semicolon, no colon will place here, no colon will be placed, remember. So this is this one line only completely shorthand this 4 line of structure. This one line will actually shorthand these 3 lines of code. So let's see whether it is running or not. That also we have to check. So print, if you go for L, so let's see whether it will do the same work or not. So here also you can see, because of this above part was been as set as comment line, so it is this output is produced due to this one, print L. So here also you can see the same output is coming. So this is only called list comprehension. List comprehension means in shorthand style you are creating such a list, and there no need to just burden about the longer structure. So in this same way, we are going to now demonstrate few more example. So now we'll go in the idle mode, so that whenever it will be required, we'll do in the script mode also. So just I'm copying the code so that I can just share with you later. So with this syntax part, I've just copied this part. So now we'll take some more example using list comprehension. So next we'll do few more example. Just for next example, create a list use, from numbers 1 to 50 which are divisible by 5 or 5. Just this is my question. So now what we can see, but always remember, first of all take one any empty list. Let me take another list, ls, I'm taking ls1 only. So empty bracket I'm taking. So now how I can form the ls1? Remember now what you have to collect, which value you have to collect. That's the question, that's the point. Create a list from number 1 to 50 which are divisible by 5. Create a list from numbers 1 to 50 which are divisible. That is the point. So this is your range area, or from this only you have to collect the things or collect the value of the list. So that you have to place under any loop. And but here one new point is added, that is one condition is added. So first of all, as usual, just like if you just think, first of all at the beginning you try to think through a normal general loop, that how we create these things. So if we use suppose I or x value as a loop variable, so that I only am using. Now I'm placing the for loop. So for I in range, so from where to where you will place the range, 1 comma 50. So I have to write 51 comma 1. Now next is the condition, if which are divisible by 5. So if means those I which will be divisible by 5. So how we can check which are divisible by 5 or not? So I percent 5 equal to 0. So that is my point. This is done. Now if we display ls1, so let's see. So here is your point. So I guess this point is clear. Few more also will do. So next we'll do, suppose now another type of things we'll do. Suppose I have this ls1, so here I'm writing create a list ls2 using ls1 which are divisible by 3. That means what? Here we can see these values, these are divisible by 5, but among these few values are there that are divisible by 3 also, 15, 30 and 45, these 3. So how we can create these things? So if we do these things by as a simple general loop, so how we could have created? So ls2 will take one empty list and then we'll run a loop for in range 0 comma lane of ls1 in this way. Then if this percent 3 equal to 0, then we have appended this one. We could have appended. So the same way, suppose I'm taking here x, sorry, ls2 will take one ls2. This is my one empty list that always try to remember this one. Now I'm creating the ls1. So suppose my x is my loop variable, so x for x in range. So now what is the range? Range is my, or also you can see we know that how we can traverse a list for x in ls1. This is also the technique. ls1. Now next we'll put the condition if x percent 3 equal to 0. So this is done. ls2. So here you can see this is your result. So this is how we can create the list. Next, this is one very interesting one. Suppose I want to place word E for all the even numbers and I want to place all O for all the odd numbers in between 1 to 20. In between 1 to 20. That means what? Here I am writing place PLSE, place E, capital E for all even number, EVEN, even numbers, and O for all odd numbers from 1 to 20. So this type of one list I want to create. So here also just I am taking one list EO named as EO empty list. Then I am creating the list actually. So what is my range? What should be my range? Let's suppose x I am taking for x in range 1 comma 21. Sorry, 21. If you write this one, so what will happen? Can anybody answer? Can you answer this one? That what should be the what could be the outcome for this situation? So I'm just showing you. So if we write this one, would have generated all the even and odd value together. But what I want, I don't want this. I want that E and O letters to be there. So here what it is different. So I will first write E. E when I want to press E, if x for percent q equal to 0, then I want to place E. Else what I want to place O. I want to place O. That means for all the odd. Now I will place the range for my value, from where my value will be collected. So this is my terms. So now if we display this EO, here you can see because it has placed O for all the odd number, and E for all the even numbers in between these two areas. In between these two areas. So this is only called list comprehension. So after this, also we can focus some more. For example, now we can also replace more than one loop inside a list. So that is also the possibility. So let's see. Just I'm giving one random example so that it will be understandable. Suppose uh, I have one value uh, using more than one for loop. Suppose I have one list, just generate one list. I'm taking 1, 2, 3, and I'm taking another list Y. There I'm taking 4, 5, 6. So now, just one, I'm creating one new thing here. Suppose result I'm creating. Within the result, I want to just add this X and Y value. So here I'm writing X plus Y. Now for X in what is my list? X is there 1, 2, 3 means each value will fetch from X. For Y in, now what is the value of Y? 4, 5, 6. So now if we simply display this result, so here you can see what it has came. 5 plus 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5 this way 1, and then the set 4 means again I'm explaining 1 4 1 5 3 5 3 4, then 2 4 2 5 and 2 6, then 3 4 3 5 3 6. So this is the structure. This is very important for output based question. So remember this type of question. So let me know if any doubt is there. If any question is there. Okay. Student, I'm ending the session here only. Thank you.